Here's the situation. You're in a meeting, you have a proposal in front of you, you're trying to get buy-in to move forward on executing a strategy. You walk out of that meeting and you thought you had buy-in, but nothing happens. Why is that? Well, the reality is you probably didn't have full buy-in from the beginning. And what we're going to talk about are a couple of indicators that you can look for during the meeting itself, and also before and after, where you can secure support so your strategic initiatives can be executed appropriately. So here's the scenario. You're in a meeting, you have a big proposal, you're trying to get buy-in, and you think you do get buy-in. You walk out of the room and a couple months go by and nothing happens. What happened? Here's the thing. When you're in that type of situation, typically people are going to be more formal and polite than combative and challenge because they want to move on to the next meeting. They don't know when they're going to need your help in the future. So it's going to be up to you to figure out what those clues are and understand just whether or not you truly have support from the people who are in the room, your stakeholders. So you're really looking for 4 signals. And these signals you want to be looking for, heading in those pre-conversations, during the meeting and during your presentation, as well as afterwards, right? The first signal is sort of response timing. How enthusiastic someone is about the work that you're proposing happens, whether or not they're pausing a lot and being very contemplative, whether or not they're being thoughtful in their questions and responses. You might find that someone who is very thoughtful in their questions and responses is merely is supportive of the project, but has a lot of reservations because they think that there are some holes that need to be worked out or some potential areas and pitfalls that need to be worked out. That's fine, but work through those things before you get to the decision point. The second signal that I think is really important to look out for are the question patterns. Someone that is more supportive than not of your work or your initiative is going to ask things around timing. When is this going to happen? How does this impact another project that's going on? How can we roll this into some other strategy that is lined up for in the roadmap? Whereas someone who is initially less supportive in the moment is going to ask alternative scenario questions. So like, what if we do this instead? Have you considered this as a potential challenge? And so they're really trying to sort of continue to poke holes in it until they feel fully comfortable in supporting, or if they have ulterior plans for those resources, then you probably want to know that before you get to some sort of decision point. The last thing that I think is a really big signal in these conversations is follow-up behavior. So if someone is in the session, they're really excited about it, they're going to want to know what role they need you to play in order to bring this to success. What do you need from me? How can I help? Do you need me to help you draft? Do you want me to, give you feedback by next week? I can do that, right? But someone who's less supportive is going to wait to be assigned things, and then they may not even follow through on that. You may need to be project managing that person in order to get all of those items done. And so, a really easy way, especially when you're talking to a team of folks, or talking about work that involves collaboration, when thinking about how much buy-in you actually have for a proposal, is looking at how many people are excited to actually work on this initiative with you. So think about your last team meeting. Think about the last time you had to pitch a project. Were people just being polite? Or were they enthusiastically supportive? Were they trying to, cautiously move forward? How do your team managers and teammates react to how you present information and projects?